Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock. So guys, I decided to pull one of my emails before I go to bed, and so I decided to pull an email, not by any particular name. I just pull an email, but this email is from a young lady who initials are DF, and she says, "Hi Kizzy, my name is DF. I really enjoy your channel. I think you are so funny, but most importantly, I love how grounded and spiritual you are. One of my questions is, I have a friend who I really admire and look up to because she's much more spiritually inclined than I am. However, lately we have been drifting apart. So why do you think it is that God will allow someone who gives me spiritual direction to start drifting apart from myself?" Well, let me just say, I've experienced this firsthand. Um, Here's the thing about that. When you are new on your walk, right, God will start putting people in your path who can help you. And a lot of the time, these are new people, right? Because your old friends and things like that. Sometimes people are just so comfortable with you that they don't even recognize your growth, and really they don't know how to deal with you. So sometimes God will start putting new people in your path who are much more further along with you to grab your hand and kind of like get you nice and comfortable and introduce you. Here's the issue with that at times. As time go on, we start seeking all of the answers from these people. So it's almost like we start to idol them and we don't even realize that we're doing it. So it's like we start to like make them our God and we don't even realize it. So it's like if God wants to get certain downloads to us, the first thing we do is we start calling them to get their opinion or their advice. And that's why, if you notice, even on my channel, I always say a lot, go directly to your source. Go to God. Go to God. Because you have to be careful about that, because sometimes people want to make you their God. And I've had that happen where people will call me all day for my advice or to pray with them and this and that. And I'm like, listen, I won't allow you to put that type of title on me. Like, I'm just a messenger. Like, you got to go to your source for most of your information. And again, I've been guilty of that. I have a friend who I'm very fond of. We're still great friends to this day. I love her so much. We're complete opposites, yet we're the same. But she's much more further along on her walk than I am. So, when I started this journey a few years ago, I would call her like for a lot of things, and she would give me like great advice. And it just, it was exactly what I needed. But then at some point, now I have to be honest with she and I, no strife happened. So I'm sorry that strife happened. As I read through your email, well, I won't get into what happened, but I will tell you this right here. Ask God how to go about that, because sometimes you need to go back and make that thing right. Go ahead and iron that out, because see, God is not the author of confusion. So sometimes what will happen is Satan will get in the mix of somebody that he know is really a blessing and know that that person could take you higher and expose you to more things. So sometimes he will cause strife. And so just make sure that it's ironed out. There's no hard feelings, and you receive the message that, okay, God now wants you to start coming to him as your source. So I would go and I would get my answers, my downloads, my confirmations, and everything from her. And then because I've always known I was a visionary, always. So anything that God shows me, it always come to pass. So I remember I shared something with her a couple of years ago, and God had already shown it to me. And because, again, like, that's something I don't question, is my vision. And so when I shared it with her, her downloads were very conflicting of what I know God has shown me. So in that very moment, there was like this thing, like, wait a minute, hold up. That's not what I got. And in most areas, I can receive her message. But with this area, it was just not matching up with my downloads. And that's only because I'm so confident in that area. In the other areas, I was shifty. So I would look for her answers and her thoughts. But with this area, with my visions, nobody can touch my visions. That's just me and God. That's only me and God. So for you visionaries, please be very, very careful about you seeking answers from others. And it's not that people are trying to give you the wrong answers, or it's not that they're trying to discourage you. It's just that they can't see what you see. A vision is for you and God only. So they will really think you're crazy. So when you're telling them that God has shown you something, they're really, really, especially like if they really care about you and love you, they're only sharing with you what they feel is best for you. But do you know how many visions have gotten aborted because of what others has gotten to somebody else's ears and says? So that's why even some of you spiritual people, you have to be very, very careful. When a visionary comes to you, or when someone comes to you and says that they have a download, don't always be so fast to tell that person that no, that's not of God. You can't speak that so quickly. You got to wait for a while. You need to either go pray on that thing, fast on that thing, but don't speak it so quickly, because you can really, really discourage someone. And if that person is not someone who is really confident in certain areas, they will literally abort what God has said to them. And then that thing is on you. So once I got that, once I saw that we were kind of conflicting in that area, that's when I started to really get some downloads like, I need you to start depending on me, meaning your source. And so, even though we're still friends to this day. We both are very, very busy people. So it's almost like, you know how you have that friend, like you don't speak every day, but when you speak, you kind of like catch up for months and months and months and months. So that's where we are. But even though I was busy in my professional life, eventually I just started to get downloads like, listen, I had to kind of pull that apart, because, I didn't need you to have any other voices. You only need to hear my voice on this particular assignment. So please understand that sometimes when God starts to pull you from people who voices that you really depend on and you really look up to, sometimes that's because he's pulling you closer to him. He needs you to come the same relationship you have with these people, meaning like you're going and you're asking them questions and what they think about this. God needs you to now come to him and say, God, can you please tell me what you think about this? Can you show me how I can hear from you? And so when you start to do that, then you become more confident in that area where you're now getting all of your revelations from God. And now people is your confirmation and not your revelation. So that's very, very careful, guys. Very careful. So please, 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 if there's people who you really depend on for all your spiritual revelations, be careful with that. But if you start to feel like a pull and God is nudging you and telling you like, I need you to come to me now. It's because that person has already played their position in that season. And as time go on, it will grow and grow, but it will be different now. It will be different now. So I hope this helped you. You guys have a great one. Have a great night. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.